Dear friends, welcome to today's special program at the Home of Harmony. Today we will have two segments. First is a talk by Tom Splitt, and then there will be a documentary show. Tom Splitt is a Chicago native and a graduate of the Northern Illinois University. He is a composer, concert pianist, poet. He has composed and recorded songs, piano pieces, works for jazz ensembles, large choral works, and an opera, many of which can be found on his YouTube channel. His poetry has been published in books and journals and on websites around the world. He also has a rich background in Jungian depth psychology. So today, Tom will be presenting and sharing with us some of his reflections on his journey and his poems. On that note, let's welcome Tom Splitt.
Thank you. So, a few nights ago, this is okay? Okay. A few nights ago, I met the Swami. He asked me to come and say a few words, to talk a little bit, and I thought it would be best to read some poems. 9 years ago, I was called to a journey, divinely called to a journey. Sell all I have and follow him. Sell all you have and follow me. And if it didn't fit into my car, it didn't come. I've been 9 years that way, and along this journey, I wrote a collection of poems, was recently published. And I will read some for you today. So, this is called Becoming the Brook. I lie on my side beside the brook, propped up on a tight clenched arm. I let it drop, and a million tight-clenched moments dissolve in the rushing water, washed away with the decaying leaves, the broken twigs, and all the wind-blown meadows offered up. The snow melts, the brook flows, the tall bent grass sways in the ripples. My heart melts, the tears flow. Grief becomes joy, inner, outer, death, life. The water of life flowing through my heart as it flows through this meadow. The occasion for this poem, as you might imagine, was I was lying on the ground by a brook in the Rocky Mountains, and I had this experience just described in the poem. And so many of these poems are steeped in nature and the divine and rooted in experiences I had as I traveled around the country. And so they have a sort of mystical nature quality about them, and as you will see. This next one came to me. I was in the mountains, and I'm walking up a path, and suddenly I'm struck to the ground, to my knees. Not unlike the Old Testament prophets. I didn't know, and I looked up, and it's as if someone pulled the veil from the world. And I saw what is behind the veil. What is behind the world. This was the Divine Mother, the great goddess. And from on my knees, I had these images, these visions, and it became this poem. It is called "Oh, My Love." Veiled to most, but unveiled to him, his reverence, her choosing, inviting his gaze. Broken, destroyed, being pierced by her beauty, or brought to his knees, humbly to serve. She is the song of the lark, the howl of the wolf, the hoot of the owl, the hiss of the snake, the sting of the bee, the serpent's fang, the venom that kills, the balm that cures, the web-weaving spider, the night-stalking tiger, the earth-bearing turtle, the soul-singing whale, the grace in all that swims and glides, that leaps and flies and crawls and climbs. The green in the grass, the dew on the rose, the dance of the wheat, the voice in the wind, the round of the hill, the valley's womb, the quiet in woods, the fragrance in meadows, the juice in the grape, the blood in his veins, the soul in the wine in his soul. To sweeten and soften, enrich and embrace, invigorate, stimulate, animate, love. She is the salt in the sea, the tears in his eyes, bitterness, sorrow, the joy of the wise. The wisdom of God, the mystery of grace, the mysterious life-giving essence in earth. The mirroring moon, the rhythm of tides, what laughs, what cries, what lives, what dies. This next poem is called "With the Moon and the Stars." And they came out in the forest, they came upon this old tree that was dead and gray. But it spoke to me, and this poem came. In the presence of this ancient, deeply rooted tree, still noble in bare, barkless, graying death, having given shade in summer, fragrance in spring, abundance in fall, and shelter in winter, we would tremble deeply to say, "I want." The tree does not say, "I want." It is. In the presence of the spider hanging from it, and the birds singing in it, of the crickets singing in the field, the cows grazing in it, and the flowers that adorn it, of the mist that floats above them, the wind that blows through them, and the rain that washes over and nourishes them all, we would surely shudder to say, "I want." They do not say, "I want." They are. In the presence of Mother Nature, in the midst of her creation, beneath the moon and the stars and the circling light, before all the gods and goddesses, seen and unseen, all the angels of heaven and the devils of hell, from the deepest, darkest earth to the furthest, dimmest star, how can we say, "I want"? But if we come to our senses and soften our hearts, we can say, with the trees and the birds, the spider and the cricket, the rain and the mist and the flowers and the wind, with the moon and the stars and the one who made them all, I am. This poem I wrote on the Long Island Sound. You may know between Connecticut and Long Island and the East Coast. It's called The Sound. Help me surrender to the grace of the sea, to the sound and the rhythm of the waves, rising from the deep, from timelessness, from nothing, and falling back. Gentle, soothing, rhythmic, calming, constant, timeless, reassuring, eternal. Rolling, roiling, roaring, rising from the deep, from timelessness, from nothing. Swelling, crashing, heaving against the sand, baptizing all with a great wash of foam, depositing her treasure, collecting her dew, rising, falling, living, dying. Help me surrender to the taste of her treasures, to immersion and resurgence in each rising, falling breath, in each rising, falling wave. To rise from the deep, from timelessness, from nothing. Reborn by the grace of the sea, christened on her stony shore, healed by her salty love, washing over me. And lest you think the only love I had on this journey was for nature, there was a woman. So this is a small, short love poem. It's called In the Silence and the Sunlight. In a small, nondescript Indian deli, the smell of curry in the air, colorful pastries in glass cases, and TV blather in the background, over cups of jasmine tea and plates of chicken, at a wobbly little table in the corner in the sunlight, warming silky auburn hair, tender flesh, and broken hearts. Something rooted, something blossomed, something opened, something healed. Something left for dead awakened as we found the strength to yield. Something long forgotten, now remembered, always was and always will be. In the silence and the sunlight, we found love. The circumstances for this next poem, I was living in a big house on a river in Connecticut in the woods. You walk out the back door, there's the river. Open the windows, it's rushing and roaring in the wintertime. No furniture, no internet, no television, no cell phone, nothing. For 7 weeks I lived there and wrote. And in that one night, I'm listening to the river outside the window, and this poem, A Soul's Testament, made in an empty house on a river in the Connecticut woods. The sound of this rushing river is the voice of the time before time, the song of the world before it was born, the beginning of the beginning. The stillness of the savannah before it was stilled by progress. The silence of the gorge before it was silenced by civilization. It is the gentle, haunting voice of my mother, Mother Africa, from whose womb of dust I was born, in whose branched arms I was cradled, at whose fruitful breast I was nursed, in whose fertile soil I rooted. I extend in descension onto the savannah, into the gorge, into the river. I am the river, and the song, the grassland and the canyon, the silence and the rushing, the memory and the longing. Radiant darkness, deeper stillness, timeless, virginal, vast and uncorrupted. I am Africa. Okay. So I'm finished. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. It's okay.
I'm coming from Madison just at this moment. It's a almost 2.5 hour drive, and I was thinking whether I will be able to make it or not. But one of our devotees, he was very steady, and he brought me over here in right time. And today we'll be showing you some clips from the Belur Math. As you know that I was giving a talk on the organization of gods. That is how the Ramakrishna Mission came into being and how it developed and all this. And they will be showing how these advertisements are also coming. Instead of those, we will try to stop that, and then I will tell you my experience in Belur Math. Please. This statue that you saw just this moment, so when they were making the very famous, the sculpturist, he was making the statue, and the direct disciple of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, Raja Maharaj, he was Swami Brahmananda, he used to go and check that whether it is coming exactly like Sri Ramakrishna or not. So he used to go and check. The first one when they made, it was almost perfect. But you know the stone, suddenly when they were making the whole body, then they found there is a black mark from the chest downwards. So that was rejected. And that, the image, that statue is now in Kashi, Advaita Ashram Kashi, that was there. Again they started making, and this is the Sri Ramakrishna's, the statue, and it is exactly like the original. So please show. This is the urn in which the relics of Sri Ramakrishna was kept. And Swami Vivekananda carried that. When the Sri Ramakrishna's relics was there, and Sri Ramakrishna said to Narendranath, wherever you will carry me, I will go over there. And Narendranath carried him to this land, on the bank of the Ganga. This is Dakshineshwar, where he did his sadhana. And this is the first building of the Belur Math. We called it Old Shrine. They are showing the different activities of the Ramakrishna Mission. This Shargachi, that is in Murshidabad, and these are different ashramas. We are mainly giving stress on education. As Swami Vivekananda said, education is the panacea of all evils. So stress is given on education. And not spiritual education, mundane education, but the brahmacharyans and the monks, so they will be singing, they're looking after the patients. When Swami Vivekananda established the Ramakrishna Mission, it was 1897, and India was under the subjugation of the British rule. Britishers, obviously, all like every rulers, they were taking everything from India, and in the name of religion, in the name of education, they were giving very wrong ideas. And they were very much eager to put that wrong idea in the minds of the Indians. But the Indians have not done anything. They were not having anything. So like that, the 200 years they were going on teaching, it entered into the psyche of the Indians. Now, when the Dharma is in distress, in problem, as the promised by the Lord, the Bhagavan again came in the form of Sri Ramakrishna. And this Sri Ramakrishna, if you notice, those who have read the biography of Sri Ramakrishna, being a Brahmin, is the first he is accepting the alms from a non-Brahmin, a pariah lady. And then this young boy, as a young boy, Sri Ramakrishna going and serving the holy people. And from there he is learning. And his memory was photogenic. He used to come and tell the stories to all the women folk. Then when the leaders of the society will be debating on some social, spiritual problem, he will come and give his comments. The 5 years, 8 years old boy. And slowly they understood he is not very ordinary person. The Sri Ramakrishna was accepted an avatar when he was only 24 years. less than that, he came to Dakshinesha along with his brother, and he was doing the worship over there. And afterwards, he proved that goddess Kali, I don't know whether it will show over here or not, the goddess Kali. He worshipped the goddess Kali, and he proved that goddess Kali because maximum attack was on the goddess Kali. And majority of the Diden rulers, they used to say that the goddess Kali is from the lower caste, a lady, and when she was cutting the heads of people, and not only that, to keep the count, how many people she has killed, she was keeping those as a girl, and that was hanging from her neck. A terrible thing, and you are worshipping that? Sri Ramakrishna worshipped that as a protest. It is all symbolic. And that symbol is completely different. Here we find that those who have made it, that is a very famous, the Ananda Bhaja Patrika group, company, they're giving the glimpse of the work and also the spirituality. So this is the Belur Math, and sometimes they're taking us to different centers, but that came much afterwards. There we find slowly as philosophy is growing up, and that philosophy was service to man is service to God. It is based on the Vedanta. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, if you can see God by closing your eyes in your meditation, can't you see God with your open eyes? Because except God, there is nothing. Everywhere the gods. No. Is the sound? And many of you know that Swami Sarvapriyananda, they are taking the interview, but I don't know whether the sound is there or not. No sound, okay. So you have to listen my sound only. So you hear my sound. Now, now, this is the Parliament of Religion. When Swamiji came, then 1892, that was the Parliament of Religion. This hall is still there. That platform is still there. Though they have reduced, it was like an opera. So from all sides people could see. And there were 7,000 people. The 7,000, they were attending that talk, and the Swami Vivekananda introduced the modern India, the new India, the real India to the world for the first time. Before Swami Vivekananda, many of the Indians, the very famous Indians, they visited the Europe, but they never could say what India is. Rather, they used to appreciate all the ideas and ideologies of the Western world. But it was only Swami Vivekananda, he gave them the Vedanta. And he said, I am proud that I belong to that country which never crossed the boundary with the sword and fire, but with blessings and prayer. So by that way, people really, they thought this is something unique. And in Chicago, again, it will be, many of you know, this is July, August, from 14 to 18. Again, there will be Parliament of Religion. There's continuous repetition of that is going on. And we will be participate over here. So if you are interested, you can also join there. And this Parliament of Religion, that gave a wonderful, it's called the Open Up. The millions and millions of Indians, They got back their self-confidence. And Swami Vivekananda said, the Vedanta means self-confidence. It's a new concept. Shankaracharya, immediately after Buddha, we can say, so Shankaracharya gave the idea of Vedanta in a completely different way. And now, in this situation, it was necessary for 33 millions of Indians to get back their self-confidence. And they got separated because it is the Britishers only who first introduced the separation and divide and rule. That was their policy. And they first divided Hindu and Muslim. Then they divided the different groups like the Punjabis, Bengalis, South Indians, North Indians. It was not there at all. And nowadays, if you even search the Google, you will find that before the Britishers, the Muslims and Hindu kings used to fight, but there was no, in that way, the religious war that we call riots. No, it was not there. When the Muslim kings were having the Hindu soldiers, the Hindu kings were having Muslim soldiers. It was only politics, but no religion was there. They introduced that. And unfortunately, we are going on fanning and becoming weaker and weaker. So that is the one part. Swami Vivekananda, you will wonder, among the Ramakrishna Mission monks, there are many Muslims are also there, they have joined. The Christians, the Buddhists, and different type of religions. Why? Because it is a philosophy that gives you an idea to transform yourself into complete different way. And Swami Vivekananda said, be a God. Now you have got the human body, you have to become God. How? By love and unselfishness. So he gave the definition of God. Unselfishness is God. And to become unselfish, you have to give up your own personal interest, everything. So you become a monk in that way, a nun in that way. Then you can join this directly. Or as a householder, you can always help. And by helping, also, you can be in the same the services. The Swami Vivekananda was taught by Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna himself. Now in this picture you can see the Sri Ramakrishna, he is rousing the divinity within the Vivekananda. And the Vivekananda became the leader of the whole group. He was only 24 years old when he took charge, and he himself was not having anything. As just a graduate from Calcutta University, young boy of 24, and he was having this great responsibility. Sri Ramakrishna passed away and gave him the responsibility. And he said, and this is the building that you see, they fast, and the half floor, the ground floor was half down inside the earth. And the snakes and jackals used to stay there. Even then they had to pay 8 rupee in those days as a rent. And who will give 8 rupee? So that all the devotees, they came forward, they collected money, they started paying, and these young people, all that you are seeing now, they lived over there. And they started practicing austerity. You know, the power is within us. The moment you are pure in heart, a tremendous power comes. An ordinary man, which was in the yesterday as a very ordinary man, and tomorrow he becomes a very powerful because of the divinity. They practiced like this. They were not having food. They were not having clothing. And this is the place still now the Ramakrishna Mission is preserving to give us the idea how they began. Along with that, Ma Saradamani Devi's prayer. And then these two combined together, the prayer of Ma Saradamani Devi and their effort together, it made a wonderful combination. This is the house of the Rani Rashmani. They were also here. They used to read the books, they used to read the scriptures, and they will be meditating. And slowly, Swami Vivekananda, after visiting the Chicago, when he went back to India and started the Ramakrishna Mission on the 1st May 1897, that was the first time in the long 10,000 years history of Hinduism, the Hindu monks were given the call to come and serve the ordinary people. It was unthinkable, unimaginable. The monks are serving the ordinary people? They never did it. So there was a rebellion among the groups and from the outside also. You are destroying the sannyasa life. He said, no. Service to man is service to God. That was the great call he gave. And how we can serve? Swamiji said, go to the village, go to the hamlets, go every corner of the country where the poor people are there, give them education. Don't give them alms. When we are serving them, giving them the alms, they are becoming beggars, depending on you. And he said, give them education, let them stand on their own feet. And as an education, definition of education, he said, I want that education by which one can stand on his own feet. That was the wonderful idea. And when the young boys started coming to join, the 10 years they got the training that you have to give up everything. You should not ask for anything, name, fame, physical comfort, money, nothing. Only give and give. So that is the way, this is the place Swami Vivekananda and his brother disciples, they are sitting. See, all this, first is the education. And where we give education, you know, there's those boys who were parading. It is moving very fast, so maybe you didn't notice. That those boys who were parading, it is from Narottam Nagar. I was there. Before coming over here, I was there. Inside the jungle, there's 400 tribal boys, they are learning. And they're learning English, computer, science. And majority of the doctors, engineers, leaders are from our Ramakrishna Mission now. And we never changed their religion, never changed their culture, but give them education and they take the decision. That is exactly what Swamiji said. The new India should come out from the villages. And the beautiful way he described, let the hand which is holding the plow become the leader. So that way, the people slowly got back the self-confidence. Now, Swami Vivekananda, when he went back to India, that was the reception. It was given in Calcutta. Hundreds and thousands of people, educated, uneducated, rich, poor, all they came only to celebrate the Vivekananda's arrival over there. And Vivekananda was the person who brought all India together. They forgot that whether he is a Bengali or Odia or Assamese or the South Indians or the Punjabis, they forgot. India united in the name of Swami Vivekananda. And then secondly, he said, and this is the house where they declared, as Swamiji declared, that the Ramakrishna Mission is moving so fast, it's very difficult. But anyway, I cannot control it. So these are the places, just a glimpse you can see. This is, I think, the Swamiji's ancestral house. The Swamiji gave the call that the monks will directly work and the devotees from the back should support them. And what we are going to do, we are going to serve the living gods. Effect will be Satya Yuga. The Satya Yuga, that effect, see the medicine and also different type of the actions that we take. See, our monks, they go, they talk to the person and then instruct the doctors, please go and help. So that is the way, very personal way the services are going on. I was really wondering, there was another movie they published by the Belur Math itself. I was thinking that that will be shown over here. I was not aware of this one. So that movie gives the wonderful explanation, and the things were little different. Look at this. If we don't serve this type of people and then construct the huge the temples, is it not a waste when the human being who are the living gods and goddesses are suffering, and we are wasting our money constructing the huge buildings? That is for the rich people, the kings, for the landlords to make nice building. But the monks, whenever they get some money, that should be utilized for the betterment of others. This new conception of yankya, now the old conception of yankya is a different, that you light the fire and pour the ghee. Today I was seeing that in the medicine. They were going on doing, right from the morning, they are going on doing that yankya. And in America, the person who is doing it, you can understand, he must be a professor over there. But in the just like a traditional, the bare body, he is doing it. That is good. But at the same time, we have to understand what we are gaining by that. But instead of those things, if you give that money to a poor person, then how much blessings that will come to you. Sister Nivedita and Sadananda Swami, they were the disciples of Swami Vivekananda. When the great Calcutta plague came, and these are the people who went down and started serving. It was so dangerous. If you read the reports of the Calcutta plague in those days, whoever came to give the medicine, the local people, ignorant people, they were thinking the government is sending like that. And some of the, here also some people were thinking vaccination means they are going to kill us. So they were beating them, breaking all the medicines, throwing away the medicines. Then Swami Vivekananda's disciples, they went and they were pacifying them, giving them the idea, you should be clean and it is all thing for you. And this is the prayer that we do, where from the power comes. This is not so easy to work. Power comes from prayer and meditation. And they will be doing, this is the Swamiji, direct disciples of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. He first started this orphanage in Murshidabad. And you will wonder, the Ramakrishna Mission first work started by helping a Muslim girl by this Swami. So when I see these children in the school dress, I was thinking of the day in the Narottam Nagar. 15th August and 26th January, usually in India, all schools and colleges, all institutions, they observed that day. So it was 15th August. It was drizzling, but we have to hoist the flag, national flag, and the boys should sing the song so that national anthem will be playing and all that. As because it was drizzling, our teachers, they said, let us stop the program today. I told, never, let that be there. Then I came and talked to the boys. I told, do you know this flag that you are going to, that will be over here? Only to raise this flag, thousands and thousands of your ancestors, they laid their life. They took so much of pain, suffering, and can't you be there in the drizzling, there to raise that flag? And immediately they got inspired. They started over there. Not only that, whole function was done when it was raining. I myself, without umbrella, I was standing over there. So these are the way the Indians are getting back the self-confidence. And this is the way the Vedanta, the modern Vedanta, Sri Ramakrishna Vivekananda's Vedanta, now spreading. We don't hate anyone because we cannot. We because Vedanta teaches that God is in every being. Each soul is potentially divine, Swami Vivekananda said. Each soul, not that Hindu soul, this soul or that soul. Each soul is potentially divine. The goal is to manifest the divinity within by controlling nature, external and internal. See how he is giving external nature we have to control, and internal nature also we have to control. And to control the internal nature, we have to have the prayer, the faith, the belief, and meditation. So this is the way we develop. These are all our shrine. I used to meditate over here, exactly in this room. I got that opportunity. I was there for a few months. So whenever I see this, and I believe that Thakur was there, and I used to meditate for hours together. It was a wonderful time I spent. This is the first president of the Ramakrishna Mission, and maybe the very old pictures they are showing. The temple of the Ramakrishna Mission that you are seeing again and again, that temple was constructed with the ideas of different religions. The Buddhism, the Jainism. If you go and look at that, the first thing that you see, the half round, that is the symbol of the Buddhist. And the two elephants, that's the symbol of the Buddhist. So that is the way the Ramakrishna Mission temple was constructed. On the basis of that, we developed this one, the home of harmony. Here, though it is a church, now here stands the Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all religions. And every time, every Saturday, we invite some different religious leaders to come and express their views. I really feel sad, but I am not going on advertising this way that you are supposed to do. Because let people come of their own. Let them listen. Outside, if you have seen the different symbols, when you go to a church, when you go to a mosque, when you go to a synagogue, when you go to a temple, what do you see there? Their own symbol. But here, standing before this building, you will see all the symbols together. Many people, they wonder how it is possible. Possible because of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. It is possible because we believe all paths are leading to the same goal. And that goal is nothing but love and unselfishness, which is God. I think, friends, you should enjoy these pictures and some of the narrations. And if there is anything to explain, I will tell you, because it is moving so fast, it's difficult to explain. Swami Vivekananda's the temple, that was constructed, and this is Rabindranath Tagore. He gave a wonderful, he wrote a few lines about Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. You see, the devotees from all over the world, they go over there. And everyone, when they're going out, they always say, it is so peaceful. How it is peaceful? Because this way, the monks, hundreds and hundreds of monks, without break, continuously going on reading holy scriptures, meditating, praying, early morning till dead night. So that when the people go, they get that effect and they go out very happy. Now we are having, Ramakrishna Mission having a lot of publications. So that is the contribution of the Ramakrishna Mission. The Hindus were not having any books. If you read the memoirs of Swami Vivekananda's brother, at that time when the Vivekananda and his brothers, they were young, there was no religious books except Bible. Because they used to print the Bible in Chandan Nagar or Hooghly, that area, and they used to distribute it very free. So each and every one used to have the Bible as a religious book. And no other book was available. And now, slowly, almost all the Indian religious books were published. So this is the the bed where Sri Ramakrishna used to live. These are the students, they also pray. The education, healthcare, and relief work. These are the three continuously going on. This you see, they are called Veda Vidyalaya. Nowadays, all Veda Vidyalaya students, nowadays, in Belur Math, there is a separate institution called Veda Vidyalaya. They are the Brahmin boys, they come, and we teach them how to chant the mantras, how to worship, and by that way, this Veda Vidyalaya is teaching Brahmanas. That is necessary. Because we cannot survive without rituals. Ritual is the basis of all religion. And this ritual we are teaching to these Brahmin boys. This is the main building. Previously they used to think, why such a huge building? Now it has become small. In every program there will be so many people, they all cannot enter into that. This symbol, you can see a swan center, and that is the symbol of Vedanta, leaving this world, but without being contaminated of this world. That means the jealousy, the ego, hankering, all these things should not touch you. But you should be in this world. That is the symbol of Ramakrishna Mission. Okay, friends, I think if that last song is there, you can play. This is the two ladies. Can you go back? Can you go back? Two American ladies. Can you go back? No. No, go back to, you'll see the two American ladies standing. Yes, no. Again, come forward. Yes. These are the two American ladies, Swami Vivekananda's disciple. They gave donation to build the Ramakrishna Mission temple in Belur Math. These two ladies. And there's another lady, her picture I didn't see here. She gave money to purchase the plot of land on which this temple is there. So the contribution of the Americans is much more. And in those days, the Indians were not that way will of people. Majority of them was a very low income group. And those who were very rich, they were thinking for their own benefit. So they didn't share. So we are grateful to these two ladies. Thank you. To the Indian dress they're wearing. At present, Ramakrishna Mission is having nearly 300 centers all over the world and 2,000 monks. Along with these monks, there are nuns also there, but she is our American nun in the our Hollywood Center. They live there. We are having San Francisco and Hollywood, two convents, and there are total, say about 17 or 18 nuns are there. The mostly Americans. Recently, the 3 Indian girls, they have joined. The one girl was here. She completed her the PhD and then joined over there. Other 2 are also the same. Completing their PhD, they came. So slowly this movement is going on. In India, they have a convent, a huge convent. They're also having nearly 300 or 400 the educated ladies. And they go out, they spread this message, and mainly in India. Will you please repeat after me Shanti 3 times? After me, you chant that. Om Shanti. 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 Harihi Om. Peace, peace, peace unto all. Thank you. Thank you for coming.